Hola Bafetu, it is your big homie Palo. How to bring up business in the span, Bafetu. Today we're just going to talk about 5 AI platforms that can make you as productive as possible, right? So I know there are other platforms. You have your Grok, you have your Copilot, you have all these platforms, but we're not going to talk about those today. Those serve a different purpose due to less restrictions for platforms like Grok. And then you have Copilot, which is more Microsoft oriented. It's in the Microsoft ecosystem. So it does have some restrictions that you wouldn't really like, once you start working with it too much, right? So the ones that we're going to talk about today, the first one is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is good for structural thinking. It's good for putting things step by step and making you understand things in manageable chunks. Because as you've noticed, a lot of times when you ask ChatGPT a question, it likes to break it down for you in like small chunks. Like, oh no, so what is a car? Oh no, a car is a vehicle. This is where vehicles. This is when vehicles were invented, and this is where we are with vehicles. This is the future with vehicles. That's ChatGPT for you. It'll do all of those backflips and gymnastics when it comes to structural thinking. And then secondly, we have Claude, right? So if you're a writer or if you have any information that is way too big, like for example, if you're writing a book and you need it to be checked, then you take it to Claude, right? Why? Claude is good with reading large amounts of data. It's not like ChatGPT. Have you noticed when you put a big file in ChatGPT, it just crashes, boop, boop, down. Sorry, something went wrong in red, right? But if you look at Claude is not going to do that, my guy. Claude might take time sometimes to think, but it works and pushes up until it gives you the right information that you've asked for. Right, so it's really good at that, and even for research, whether it's research, whether it's your book, whether you wanna summarize a book. Sometimes you don't have time to read an entire book, and then you just ask Claude, hey, please summarize that for me. And you'll see Claude in action. Done. You get what I mean? And then thirdly, we have Perplexity. Right, so what is Perplexity good with? Perplexity is good when it comes to giving you links, and basically it's good for research. So if you are researching something and you have questions, Claude will give you links to that information. It doesn't just tell you. Have you noticed when you're asking ChatGPT something, it might give you an answer, or it might give you a vague response or something that you don't want to hear, and then it leaves it as that. When you ask it to delve deeper, it'll just say, hey, this is all I have for you. I can't give you information. Not Perplexity, my boy. Perplexity goes in deep. It gives you the links to each to every piece of information that you're asking for. And sometimes it does this without even you asking. So what it's saying can be researched. So it's great for research. All right. Whenever you work on Perplexity, it gives you enough information to go back and read and understand exactly what they're talking about, right? And then number 4, we then have Gemini, right? So because Gemini is in the Google ecosystem, which the entire world is using right now for advertising, for putting the information up online and doing all these things, Google is a good platform because of that. And because Gemini is affiliated with Google and it's within that ecosystem, whenever you are doing research, it goes in and dives very deep in. It dives deep and it has all the information. I mean, guys, if you don't know something, you go to Google usually, you understand. And you can imagine now all of that information at your disposal on Gemini. Have you noticed, guys, Gemini, you can literally just show it a picture, a vague image. You can shoot something vague and ask it, and it'll, like in real time, it'll tell you. So if you want real-time research and real-time information, Gemini is the best for that. Okay, and then last but not least, we have, you see, now I'm forgetting this thing that I was, because I'm literally going off the top of my head. What's in the Midjourney? The fifth one is Midjourney. So number 5 is an image generator. So Midjourney is a very good image generator. So if you have posters to make, if you have images to create, if you have images to edit, whatever that has to do with images, anything that has to do with images, Midjourney is the one, right? I also did some research on it. It's just that it's something new to me. So while I was researching, I found that, hey, here's a new platform here. It's not really new, but here's another platform that you didn't know about called Midjourney, and it's good with images. You can't get it for free, right? But I only did it for research purposes and to get a better understanding, because this is also a field that I'm in tech. So yeah, and also the reason why I made this video was because I get that question a lot. Since I'm someone who's in tech, I'll be getting questions from people. Hey, what's the best AI to use? There's no single best AI to use. Nah. Each AI platform has its own algorithms. It has its own background system. It has its own framework. So they don't do the same thing. And that's why when you approach them, you have to approach them with different tasks. If I know I'm writing a book, hey, you go to Claude. If I know that I need quick research, hey, I'll go to ChatGPT, right? And so yeah, ChatGPT thinks, Gemini researches, Claude writes, Perplexity finds sources, Midjourney creates images. So that is just a short breakdown and a summarized version of today's video. Thanks for watching. Peace, y'all.